All right, let's get right into it. Today we're going to peel back the curtain and break down, step by step, the exact system a trader used to pull off one of the most incredible returns we've seen in a long, long time. No theories, no fluff, just the actual playbook.
And this is the number that started it all, plus 941.1% in a single year. That's the mind-blowing return Oliver Kell posted to win the 2020 U.S. Investing Championship. I mean, that's not just winning, that's a legendary performance. But here's what you really need to understand. This wasn't a lottery ticket. It wasn't some lucky crypto bet or a hot tip from a buddy. A return like this came from a specific, repeatable system, a system built on rules you can actually learn and observe in the market.
And you know, this system wasn't dreamed up in some Ivy League classroom. Nope, it was forged in the fire. We're talking years of getting knocked down, losing money, even getting fired, and almost giving up completely. This success was literally built on a mountain of failures.
As Kell himself put it, borrowing a line from the legendary trader Jesse Livermore, the market is a brutal, brutal teacher. It was all that hard-won experience, all those tough lessons, that ultimately hammered this strategy into its winning shape.
So, what's the big idea here? Before we jump into the nitty-gritty, let's get our heads around the core philosophy, the guiding principle that drives every single decision in this playbook.
At its heart, it's all about one thing: trend following. The goal isn't to be a fortune teller, guessing bottoms and tops. Not at all. It's about finding a stock that's already showing strength, already moving in a clear direction, and just riding that wave for as long as it lasts. Sounds simple, right? Well, simple isn't the same as easy.
So what's in the toolkit to do this? Well, you might be surprised at how simple it is. There are no secret complex algorithms here. Kell's entire approach boils down to these four things: price, because that's the ultimate truth; volume, which tells you if the big money is interested; moving averages, to help you see and follow the trend; and finally, chart patterns, which are like a roadmap for what might happen next.
Okay, now we're getting into the real engine room of the strategy. Kell noticed that the best-performing stocks tend to follow a predictable cycle, a kind of five-stage loop that takes them from a deep bottom all the way through a powerful uptrend to a final explosive peak.
And here they are, the 5 stages. It kicks off with a major bottom, a reversal. Then you get the first real sign of life, what he calls the wedge pop. After that, the first healthy pullback or test. Then the stock takes a breather, building a base before the next big move up. And finally, you get that euphoric, over-the-top peak, which is your signal to get out. Understanding this sequence is everything.
So now we have the map, this price-action loop. But how do you find the right vehicle, the right stocks, to use it on? Come on, not every stock is going to be a superstar. So here's how Kell sifts through thousands of stocks to find the very few with explosive potential.
And this right here, this illustrates the single most important concept: relative strength. Just look at this comparison. On the left, you've got the whole market taking a nosedive, but on the right, you have a true market leader. While everything else is getting crushed, this stock just refuses to go down. It's making a higher low. What does that tell you? It tells you the big institutions aren't selling. They're holding on tight, just waiting for the storm to pass.
So you're looking for that perfect storm. You want stocks with that clear relative strength tied to a massive new story or theme, and you need the numbers to back it up. We're talking explosive growth in sales and earnings. But the final piece of the puzzle is proof that the big dogs are buying. You want to see what Kell calls bull snorts, these massive, undeniable spikes in volume that scream institutions are here.
Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this all works in the real world. We're going to walk through that legendary Tesla trade, and you'll see every single one of those 5 stages of the price action loop play out, step by step.
So stage 1. After a pretty nasty drop, you see Tesla come down and find support right at that key 200-day moving average. This is the capitulation bottom, the reversal extension. It's that moment where it feels like the selling is just finally exhausted.
Now for stage 2, the wedge pop. Look at that. The stock doesn't just bounce, it powerfully reclaims that shorter-term moving average. This is the confirmation. The downtrend is dead and a new uptrend is likely beginning. For Kell, this is the first clean signal to actually put some money to work.
Next up, stage 3, the EMA crossback. Look, no stock goes up in a straight line, right? So here, it pulls back to that same moving average, which now acts as a floor, as support. This is a classic low-risk spot to add to your position, because you know exactly where you're wrong, just a little bit below that line.
And here comes the big one, stage 4. After that first move up, the stock just chills out for a few weeks. It's consolidating, digesting the gains, building a base. And then, bam, it breaks out with huge energy. This is the base and break, and this is what kicks off the most explosive part of the whole move.
And finally, stage 5. The trend goes absolutely vertical. See how the price gets stretched way above its short-term moving average? That's the exhaustion extension. It's pure euphoria. It's the blow-off top. And that's your cue. It's time to ring the register. Take those profits and complete the loop.
Now, we spent a lot of time on how to make money. But the single most important part of this whole thing, the rule that holds it all together, isn't about making gains. It's about not losing. It's about defense, risk management, and survival.
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? That little sting of taking a small, disciplined loss, it's nothing. It weighs ounces. But the crushing weight of regret you feel when you let that small loss turn into a disaster, man, that weighs tons. And this is the mantra you have to live by. Your number one job as a trader is to protect your capital. If you're not sure about a trade, just stay out. If a trade turns against you, get out. Because without capital, you're out of the game completely. It's that simple.
And it all comes down to this simple, brutal truth. Winning in the market isn't about being right all the time. Nobody is. It's about making sure your wins are multiples bigger than your losses. And the only way you can possibly do that is if you are absolutely ruthless about cutting your losses short. Look, Oliver Kell's story proves it. With a system, with discipline, and with a whole lot of resilience, it is possible to achieve incredible things. The playbook is right here. The path was paved with some really painful lessons. So the only question left is the one right there on your screen. Are you ready to step into the arena?